Hello everyone, Kevin Tacher, the founder and CEO of Independence Title here with another amazing interview. Today we're going to be interviewing Lydia Quesada and Richard Adams with Adams & Associates. They are our preferred strategic alliance for short sale negotiations. So thank you guys for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, Kevin.
So the number one thing I really want to talk about, and which I talk about in many of my short sale videos, is talking about the liability. The liability of why you need to have an attorney on your side negotiating short sales. As a title company, we all know, as a real estate agent as well, you are allowed to legally negotiate short sales. But I'll tell you, I don't want to negotiate short sales. There's too much liability. Our underwriters frown against it because when you take a client that's going into foreclosure and you start processing paperwork and you don't have the legal advice, you run into certain situations. So I'm going to have them talk for a minute here the importance of utilizing a real estate attorney to negotiate your short sales for many reasons that I've found throughout this process. So tell them just a little bit. I mean, I would like to really talk two sides, one liability-wise, but the second side, talk a little bit about the foreclosure process, how you're able to monitor it versus the title company.
You're right, Kevin. There's a few benefits to using an attorney instead of trying to process the short sale yourself. One of the obvious benefits is you get to save, you as the real estate agent, save your time for what you do best, which is sell real estate. Short sale processing, I don't know how many of you real estate agents have tried it. It's a very tedious, very laborious, very time-consuming process. It's really going to consume a lot of your time, so you're better off, for that reason, you're better off leaving it to an attorney. Another reason, which you touched upon, Kevin, it has to do with liability. We take that liability away from the agent. We, as an attorney, enter into a written contract, a formal contract with your seller, where we undertake that liability. So that responsibility, that liability is taken away from you and transferred over to us, the attorney. And that's a great thing because, as Kevin mentioned, the underwriters really don't want agents processing short sales. They don't want title companies processing short sales. It's not a good idea. You need an attorney who knows all the legalities involved and will put everything down in writing and make sure that it goes through correctly.
So the agents are definitely now able to put more money in their pocket. You guys can now start going out there, taking more listings, showing more properties. Leave the negotiations to the professionals, the attorneys that are handling short sale negotiations. There's many title companies out there that'll do it for you. They charge a fee for it. So wouldn't you rather have an attorney on your side protecting your clients, which really gets us into the next topic of talking about monitoring the foreclosure process, which I know, Lydia, we spoke about earlier.
Yes. That's very important, Kevin, because one of the biggest myths out there is that just because a seller is undergoing a short sale, possible short sale, that the foreclosure process either will not be initiated, one, or number two, if it's already been initiated, that it will stop. And that's false. Very, very important that you understand that even though a short sale is in process, even if it's close to approval, that foreclosure process will continue. And as attorneys and as an obligation that we have to the seller, when we have a short sale file that we are processing, we monitor that foreclosure case to make sure that we don't run up against a sale date, to make sure that we have time to put any strategies in place to make sure that that property is not lost during the short sale process.
So that's good. So they can follow that process of the foreclosure. So this way your clients are going to know exactly the process of where the home is. You know, more importantly, their firm as well handles foreclosure defense. So if your clients would like to purchase kind of an a la carte added services, you know, they're able to help stop the foreclosure while they're working on getting these offers out there and get these short sales negotiated. Remember, your number one reason for doing this is to save these clients from their home. But you as a realtor should not take that liability to try and save a client from foreclosure, nor should myself as a title company. I have no desire to do that. Because when they lose the home, there's going to be more lawsuits coming around the corner for people that lost their home in foreclosure and said, well, what right did you have? What experience did you have to negotiate the short sale for me? So let's leave it to the attorney. They handle it. They collect. They get paid from the bank. It's a very simple process, which we'll talk about now. We have a short sale package on our website, which is www.mytitleco.com. For my title company, mytitleco.com. You go there, you click on the short sale link, there's a short sale package there. The attorney will enter into an agreement with the homeowner. They will collect their fee from the bank. So if the short sale doesn't close for whatever reason, there's no expense to the seller up front. The bank will pay the charge, at which point they negotiate the short sale. And if they don't agree to pay the full amount, they may agree to pay a little bit less. But that's an agreement between the seller, the attorney, as well as the short sale negotiator. So you're going to download that package, get it all filled out. It's pretty self-explanatory. It has all of the documents and the disclosures and agreements that need to be signed. And then simple, take page number 1, which is the fax cover page, fax it into our office, and we will work on that process. The package will be faxed into the title company. We'll set up a file. We'll prepare the preliminary closing statement. Then we'll send it over to Adams & Associates. The negotiator will be in contact with you, and we'll get this process started. So again, it's a very seamless process. It seems to be working very, very smooth. One thing I wanted to talk about, we get a lot of questions about the Home Affordable Modification Program, about people that may be able to save their home, half a program, about people forgiving their debt. So talk a little bit about those programs and what the realtors from their side can have a little education on it.
Sure. You mentioned 2 things, Kevin. One is the Home Affordable Modification Program, and that's for sellers who are trying to modify their loans to keep their homes. As you well know, a lot of those modification programs, a lot of those modifications don't go through or are denied. It's very important to note that the HAFA program, which is the Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative Act, that's what allows for the short sale. And the Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative Act was recently modified effective February 1st, 2011, so that if somebody's trying to undergo a modification under the HAMP program, they can start the short sale process as well under HAFA, so that there could be a dual track system in place, so you're not immediately bumped out of the modification program because you're trying to, in fact, do a short sale. And so those rules have been loosened up, and under the HAFA program, if it's a seller's primary residence, they could qualify under the program, and they could actually even get a relocation fee up to $3,000 from the lender to be able to move from the premises. So that is very, very favorable.
Well, that's great. I mean, remember, the whole goal is to save these clients from their homes, get them into a situation where they're able to breathe again, because most of these clients are underwater, and it's time to really help the community out and help these people, save them from this foreclosure process, which is why we put some of these steps in. Do you have any last-minute things you'd like to talk about with them before we wrap it up?
I would like to say, yes, Kevin, that our program is very self-explanatory. It's very easy, available on your website, the package. And I just also want to let you know that if sellers retain us to, in fact, help them with the short sale processing, we as attorneys make ourselves available. And there's also, a lot of times even before they decide to go into the short sale, there's legal questions, because in fact a hardship is required, Kevin. So there will be questions that maybe these sellers will have about whether they qualify or not, and we are willing and able to answer those questions for them, because they are in fact legal questions that shouldn't be answered by anybody other than an attorney.
Yeah, that's the problem people are doing. They're answering questions they have no reason for doing. And I always say realtors I love realtors, but when they sit in front of their client to take that listing, the whole reason to take that listing is to save them from foreclosure. And they say, I'm going to help save your house. Well, now have the team in place to really help your client get free from this mortgage debt. And facing a foreclosure could be on their credit for a long time, so it's very, very important. Not only do they handle the short sale process, foreclosure, defense, but Richard, tell them a little bit. I know you do bankruptcy work as well.
Yes, Kevin, we're bankruptcy attorneys. We have been for almost 24 years now. And to the extent that your seller needs advice concerning a possible bankruptcy, we're available for that as well. So it's nice because we can control the client under one umbrella, one roof.
Right. Well, you're able to guide them to what their best possible option is. That's what I've noticed with dealing with Adams and Associates. The attorneys are on staff. We deal with the short sale processor, but the attorneys are always copied on the emails. The communication always goes through the attorney. So it's good to see that we're not just dealing with a place where they put the name of an attorney on a big process here, that you never see the attorney, you never hear from the attorney, you can't get the attorney on the phone. It's very important to know that the comfort level for our agents and the community is to know that there's an attorney dealing with the process. So, very important.
Right, Kevin. We're available. We're very available to answer the seller's agent's questions. Before you take your listing, you're free to call us. You can reach us on our cell phones. Again, we don't have a clock ticking. We're not billing you. We're not charging you. We're available to help you make the right decision.
It's a relationship-driven business here, folks. It's about taking that relationship to the next level and making sure everyone is getting the service that they truly deserve at an affordable price. These sellers are underwater. They need help. Let's go out and help the community. So again, thank you both for coming in. Adams & Associates has 5 offices throughout South Florida. They're here to serve the community. Again, visit www.mytitleco.com. You can download the short sale package. Included in that's all of the contact numbers for the entire staff at Adams & Associates. You can email them or reach out to them whenever you need to. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for both coming in. And we look forward to helping your sellers get the relief they need. Have a great day, everyone.